try one more time. That's pretty weak there. Good evening to everyone. All right, that sounds more like it. Well, it gives me great joy to have this chance to be able to give you an update. This is the first trimester of the fiscal year. We are birthing a baby here in the city of Irondale, so that's why we're going in trimesters. But this really covers the first 4 months of what's been going on in the city. So I'm going to talk about what's been going on financially. Then we will begin to talk about, we're going to talk about recycling, the app, the finances of the city, the status of projects that are going on in the city. Then I'm going to allow you all to be able to ask me questions about what's going on. Hopefully this will conclude around 7 o'clock with me sharing about what's going on in the city. And then we'll have about 15 minutes of Q&A, or as long as you all want me to be here, I'll be here to be able to answer questions about what's going on in the city. However, before we get started, I got Pastor London just walked through the door, so don't sit down. I want you to come up here and lead us in a word of prayer before we launch our meeting tonight.
Let us pray. Our gracious and forgiving Father, we're just so thankful that you have given us an opportunity to serve you. Father, I continue to pray for this great city, Father. Continue to pray for the leadership that you have shown us this last 3 years. Father, just continue your blessing on this city. And Father, lifting up our mayor tonight for all the hard work that he's done and all the caring that you have taken care of him. And Father, we just be careful only to give you all the glory and only give you all the praise and honor, because we know, Father, that we can't do anything unless you allow it to. So, Father, we just thank you for the ones that are here tonight. And we're thanking you, Father, for the ones that's not here. And we just continue to pray for this city. And we lift you up every day of our lives. In Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you, Councilman London, for that invigorating prayer. As I stated earlier, I'm glad to have a chance to be able to give you an update on what's going on in the city. I don't think we should wait until the end of the fiscal year to be able to share all the things that are going on. You should be able to set a standard, to be able to set a benchmark, and to be able to shoot for that, and not to be afraid that if you fail in accomplishing those things, your citizens will know at least that you gave it the good all-American try. I want to be able to thank the staff here at the city, the department leaders that are here. I shared with them that they did not have to be here tonight, but they still decided that they wanted to be here as a part of this as well. I want to thank Lee and Emma for working on organizing all of this information and being able to put it together and to be able to make the adjustments as I'm giving it to them at the last minute. Yes, you all can clap for them. I have no problem whatsoever of telling people that the reason that I've been able to do the things that we're doing here at the city, because I've been blessed with a great group of leaders to be able to get things accomplished. John Maxwell states in one of his leadership books that nothing that is great is ever done with the number 1. I'm out front. I'm the one that gets a chance to be able to share. I get beat up, and sometimes I get a little pat on the back for the good things that are going on. But we are a great city, and we're in the position that we're in right now because I have some great people to be able to work with. We've been going through a book called The Speed of Trust, and that is very important. I trust them. They trust me. but they've also been able to see the results. It's one thing to tell people what you're going to do. It's another thing for people to be able to see those results. They've been able to see the results. They know exactly what we endure here on a regular basis. And I just want to be able to thank them for all of their hard work. They are going with me tomorrow. I have a chance to be able to speak at UAB. I graduated in 2020 with my master's in public administration, and they've asked me to come back to be the keynote speaker during the luncheon that they're having on tomorrow. And of course, the people that I work with, they've already signed up and they plan on going there to be with me, to be able to support me. So I just want to thank them in advance. I'm going to thank them tomorrow. I've already shared with them. I'm going to have you all to stand up, so make sure you got on your Sunday best. So we want to make sure that we look good while we're over there. But also I want to be able to thank Kim as well. She's not on the staff, and she doesn't get paid. But she does have to put up with me, and she does a very great job of putting up with me when I come home, and it's been very supportive. So I just want to be able to thank her as well. So I guess I'm starting out this meeting by giving a thank you to her. You all know that I would cry at the drop of a hat, but I can also be very mean, and I can be very hard at the same time. So I've got my crying out of the way, so now I can move forward and present you with what has transpired in the city of Irondale in the first trimester. First thing we're going to talk about is recycling. February 23rd. You can no longer use this for recycling. If you're in the room, if you're tuned in on Facebook, if you put this out and you come home and it's still in the yard, there's a reason. And the reason that it's in the yard because we're no longer picking up anything that is in these blue bins starting January the 23rd. Now, people have said, well, Mayor, we didn't know about it. Well, we put it in the water bill. We made robocalls. We put it on the website. So we've tried to do our very best to communicate to everybody that we are no longer picking these bins up. So if you put this bin out, we're not going to pick it up. The reason that we're not going to pick it up is because we're trying to reduce the contamination rate. The city pays $115 per ton for contaminated recycling. We pay $65 for uncontaminated recycling, and we pay $36 for garbage. So when people say, Mayor, I'm just going to throw it in the garbage. And I say to myself, guess what? You save us $29 by throwing it in the garbage. But we don't want you to throw it in the garbage. But we're not picking these up. So you can use them around the house for anything. I mean, whatever you would like to use it for, use it, but please don't put it out on the street.
Would you define what contaminated means? Like if it gets wet?
Frank and Alfred are here, they can correct me. But most of the contaminated items is going to be cardboard or paper. And it's because it's wet. It's wet. That's why, thank you, Donna, for setting up my next presentation. This is the reason why Frank, Alfred, and Lee worked so hard to get a grant for the city, $311,000. We received a new truck as well as $2,000 new blue bins. Before we started issuing out these bins, we only had 1,300 people signed up for recycling. Now we have over 2,000 people that have signed up for recycling. Frank has applied for another grant. He informed me today. So we're going to try to get another recycling truck. We're going to try to get another 1,000 bins. So we've run out of bins. Therefore, if you've purchased your own blue recycling trash can, you can use that. Matter of fact, you can put that can out as long as you put it out in conjunction with the one that's been authorized from the city. Frank, how many do we have left now? We got 50 left. So if you out there today and you don't have a can, please go to the website, sign up, because we only got 50. Once we give those 50 out, we're no longer giving any more cans out. But I want to give you a demonstration about your can, because you would think that people would understand that if a can has a lid on it, that lid is there for a reason. So, if you don't close the lid, we're not going to pick your recycling up. Why? Because that's similar to the blue container that doesn't have a lid. Everything is about the lid. Can I get you all to say in unison? All about the lid. Close your lid. If you close your lid, we will close the lid when we put it back after they're done. We don't know when you put your recycling. We don't know if you put it out Monday morning when it wasn't raining. We don't know if you put it out on most Saturdays when I'm going home and there are cans that are out and it's raining. We don't know if you put it outside the can when it wasn't raining. We don't know. So to be able to take all of that guesswork out of everything, we're just not going to pick it up. And if you don't like it, call Frank Penny. Don't call me. Because I got to call Frank. Because Frank the one running the program. So you all call Frank at 205-951-1420. And you all can say to Frank, whatever y'all want to do. But Frank is a nice guy, big heart, he'll take care of it. But if you all can just do that favor for us, just put the lid down. I mean, if you got boxes, and I know we've heard it all. I can't tear the boxes up, my hands hurt.
Well, what about the boxes? Do they need to be broken down?
Yes.
Or if they're small?
You need to break the boxes down until it gets to its smallest common denominator.
Just,
whatever that is.
just break down me fast.
Yeah, well, common denominator. Since I'm
Until
talking mathematically to you all, I hope everybody understand that was an 8th grade term. So we should all be on the same page. But just break the box down, put the box inside of the can, and make sure what?
close the lid.
Close the lid.
Mayor, I've had some people in a couple of neighborhoods in my district that are trying to be helpful by putting their stuff in plastic bags. They'll put all of it in a plastic bag, put it in the container, but leave the lid open. I would think that is not our goal. Our goal is to just close the lid, whether it's in a plastic bag.
Close the lid. Do not put it in plastic bags, because the plastic bags, when they dump everything on the conveyor belt, it gets caught in the conveyor belt. Even if the plastic bags say recycling plastic bags, don't put the recycling plastic bags. No recycling bags. No bags, period.
Not guilty.
So is that helpful to everybody? Frank, if you want to. Frank was looking out for you all, so he even brought some magnets for you to put on your refrigerator to remind you when you're in the house, putting everything together, what you can do, what you can't do, But the main thing is,
Like I say, I had the honor of watching the new truck. Thank you people that applied for the grant, in front of my house today, and we put it on the little lift, and it was just the neatest thing.
all right. Second thing we're going to do is move, before we start talking about all the money we're going to spend, we wanted to be able to make sure that we shared with you how much money we actually have in the bank here in the city. We currently have, I think I'm going to take this. We currently have $26,848,800.88. We have close to $11 million in reserve, $6.1 million in general fund, for unrestricted funds of about $16 million. We have about $9 million in restricted funds. Of those restricted funds, we still have $2,351,013.99 in ARPA funds. So we have about $26,848,800.88 in the bank. That is fresh off the press. As you can see, that's for 2/28/2013. So through the first trimester of the year, we are doing very well financially here in the city of Irondale. You can see that on those screens there. I just want to be able to point out a few important areas to see, so you to be able to understand how these things contrast. In 2022, through this point of the year, our sales and use tax was $5,526,946.44. Through the first 4 months of 2023, our sales and use tax is $7,341,304.47. So at this point in time, last year compared to this year, we have $1.8 million more that we produced in sales and use tax than we did the year before. The occupational license fee, the city reduced that by 1/4 of a percentage point in 23. That cost the city over $1 million to be able to do this. We wanted to be able to show the business community that we support them. We want to be able to help them the way that they've helped the city through their sales and use tax and business license. In 2022, our occupational tax was $1,739,080.84. In 2023, even with the reduction of 1/4 of a percent, we have $1,610,683.21, of a difference of $128,397.63. Lee, they don't have this on the slide, do they? Okay. So we don't have this one on the slide, but we'll make the information available to you. If I need to say something over again so you can write it down, just let me know. But even with the reduction, we're only off by $128,397.63. Business license, 2022, $2,136,153.21. Business license in 2023, $2,126,565.17, for a difference of $9,588.04. Ad valorem tax, which I hate to tell you all if you have forgotten about what transpired in March of 22. Anybody remember what happened in March of 22? You all don't have to say it at one time. Anybody want to share? Everybody's mumbling, but can I get somebody to say what transpired in March of 22? Property tax increase. People told me that I was crazy, that I was stupid. Why would you want to be able to do that? We're in the worst economic times of all time. But I was just foolish enough to believe that the citizens of Irondale, if you could identify and show them how those funds would be spent, that they would be supportive of that. 75% of the population decided that they were okay with that. Therefore, in 2023, on your tax bill is going to increase by 6 mills. You can call City Hall and we'll be able to tell you the same thing. However, that's going to add an additional $1.6 million to the city's coffer. And when we began to talk about some of the projects that we're going to do in the future, we said that we would use this money on things that you can see. As we continue with the presentation, I'm going to be able to show you those things so you can see those things about what's getting ready to happen in the city of Irondale. So for ad valorem tax, in 22, we collected $1,280,246.07. In 23, we've collected $1,390,196.95 for an increase of $109,950.88. And finally, to get to I think I have two more columns, but the main thing is I want to show you that in 22, our revenue was $13,547,443.30. This year, our revenue is $15,347,179.60 at the same time, for an increase of $1,799,736.30. We are doing better this year financially than we did the previous year. So what is the main thing I wanted to be able to point out to you? What I want to say that even after we gave our public safety employees a 14% increase, we gave our administrative employees and public works employees, water inspections, a 9% increase, which was unheard of through Jefferson County, of giving your employees a raise that was so huge. Then we turned around on top of that and reduced our budget by another $1 million by reducing the occupational license fee by $1 million. And even after doing all of those things, our surplus in 22 was $3,179,451.37, and our surplus in 23 is $2,848,253.96, for a difference of $331,197.41. So I want to say to you, even after we paid our employees more, we reduced our revenue. The only difference is $331,000. Now, do you all think that happened because you have such a great mayor? It's okay. Well, I want to say the reason that we're in the position that we're in, because I can see God's hand all over this city. And I can see the favor of God all over this city. And I share with people now, this is a joke. So don't anybody walk out of here and think that I'm this vain, but it is a joke. I am 6'3". I am good looking. I am astute. And I'm very articulate. But that's not the reason we're in the shape that we're in. We're in this position because I'm a firm believer that as you give money away, the Lord has a way of sending more money to help you to do even more things. So you cut your revenue by $1 million. You give your employees raises that are unprecedented, 14 to 9%, and you're only $331,000 in a different place than you were the year before. So I think we ought to give the man upstairs a hand for all of the work that he's done in the city of Irondale.
Where did that put us in the whole scheme of the world, being competitive with other cities and retention and stability?
Thank you, Donna. I could have hired you tonight just to sit there and and be a part of this presentation because you keep leading into some of the points, good points to be able to talk about. First of all, our firemen are the second highest paid fire department in Jefferson County. Our police department is the fourth highest paid police department in Jefferson County. Fourth. Out of 21 municipalities, we're four for public safety or police department, second with fire, and we are sixth with our administrative department. Now, when we gave our employees their raise in July, we were number one in all of those categories. However, some of the other municipalities' mayors got jealous and their employees started putting pressure on them to say, Irondale is giving 14 to 9%. What are you all going to do for us? I hate to say it, none of those municipalities sent me a thank you note. Because if we wouldn't have done what we did over here in Irondale, the rest of the Mountain Brooks and Vestavias and Homewoods would have never been able to benefit in Trustville from the increase that we gave here. But I've already shared with our employees, in the word of Deion Sanders, we coming. So we are going to be number one by the end of 2024. And we're going to see exactly how the other municipalities are going to step up. Currently, our employees we pay 87% of our employees' health insurance. And the goal is to get to 100% by 2025. I don't think that you can find a better place to work, to be well compensated, and to have some of the best benefits of any other municipality in the area. But we're here to be able to set the standard. We don't want to be the tail. We want to be the head, and we want to be the leader in this region. And I truly would say that we're on our way of being able to do that. All right, the next thing, I believe in setting goals. Last year, we had 22 and 22. We accomplished 19 of those goals. We fell short by 3 of those goals. One of them is that we didn't apply in time for Main Street, but we are applying this year, and we will be a Main Street community. Also, we didn't get a chance to be able to brand the Auto Mall as the Auto Hub for our region, but we are also working on promoting the Auto Mall to being one of the hippest, coolest automobile malls in the area. I've already been meeting with marketers and PR firms, and we've identified that Irondale is the only city in the state of Alabama that have the amount of luxury automobiles in their city. No one can say that they have what we have across the highway. And we want to be able to do a better job, because when I'm out, people will say, are those dealerships in Birmingham? Which means that we've done a poor job of marketing that they are in the city of Irondale. We need to improve the signage out there to let people know that you are in the city of Irondale. So we're going to rescape the area. We're going to provide signage to the area, and we're going to work with all of the dealerships out there to create a common website to call it the Irondale Auto Mall, where you can go to one place and have the greatest automotive experience that you can ever have in your life. So that's where we're heading with making sure that people know exactly what we were doing. But I did share with the staff, and I told them that it was very ambitious to try to do 22 things in 22. And I promised them that we would not do 23 in 23. And when I gave my State of the City speech, because they were not aware of what I was getting ready to say, Lee was the only one that was aware because she's in the office with me. And when I said, we're not going to do 23 and 23, we're going to do 33 and 23, they almost wanted to kill me for being so ambitious to do that. But I'm a firm believer. I never want to do anything that I can do myself. Because if I can do it myself, that means that self is going to take the credit for it. But I want to do something that's so large that if it wasn't for other people joining in to be able to help, if it wasn't for the Lord on our side to help us to be able to get it accomplished, it wouldn't take place. So when these 33 things take place in 23, you all can truly say Mayor Stewart had nothing to do with that. That was because he had a great staff and a big God. And when you have those two things on your side, you can accomplish a lot of things. A lot of those things are consistent with each other. I'm not going to touch on all of them, but the redevelopment of Granson Mills Station, we started that last year. The revitalization of Crestwood Boulevard. We currently have an Apple study, and we're going through that study to try to figure out how we can spruce up Crestwood Boulevard. One of the newer things is to have a facade improvement program. As you're driving down Crestwood Boulevard, you find buildings with all these different colors of facades in the same building. You may find 10 color shades in one shopping center. And we want to be able to improve that by creating a program to be able to provide individuals that if they want to upgrade the facades on their building, that the city will come in or the CDA will come in and provide a grant program to be able to match them with the revenue to be able to make those differences. Frank just shared with me today that the bids for the roads will be coming out on Thursday. So we're getting ready to do about $2.1 million in road paving projects at the beginning of the summer. And also, if you live on Amber Hills Road, I know you all have been complaining about how bad that road is. Well, Frank and I, for some reason, they love Frank and I down at the Jefferson County Roads. So they have agreed to pave Amber Hills Road, and Birmingham and Irondale is going to split the cost on a pro rata share. So that resolution should be on the next city council meeting for the council to adopt that resolution. I just answered it. No, we're the bids are coming back Thursday. The bids will be coming back Thursday in this room, 2:00, 11:00. And soon as the bids come back, the engineers will analyze the bids. We will award the bids, and then within 30 to 60 days, whoever wins the bid will mobilize themselves to begin paving throughout the city. Your street's already in there. We announced that last July.
I know that, but I just was checking. I just checking because our streets are quite bumpy.
Well, they won't be after July. Yes, ma'am. I think it's on there. Is it on there, Frank? Parts of Fifth Avenue is on there. Okay. All right. No, Bunny Bell is in the third phase, which is coming up in July. Frank and I have already talked, and our goal is to focus on Holiday Gardens in the next phase. Beacon is on there this time, but the rest of Holiday Gardens is going to be on there when we provide you with the roads that's going to be done in July of 23 for 24. So those are just some of those are 33 things there. Some are short term, some long term, some are ongoing. But my job for the rest of the leadership here, I tell them my job is to make you uncomfortable every day. Because as long as they're uncomfortable, they will do their very best to be able to get things done. So around here, we try to make sure that everybody's hungry. We don't try to feed you too much. We want you to be hungry. We want you to be innovative. We want you to be visionary. And we want you to do your very best every day. And we found out that being able to do those things has helped us to be very successful this year. Are there any questions that anybody has about the 33 things that we're attempting to do in 23?
Well, I think it's wonderful about the signs because it does kind of look like Mardi Gras, Preston Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then what's not lit up, you know, what's burned out, you know.
Right. Yes. So, let's see what time. Okay, 6:35. All right. Okay, development updates. Grants Mill Road. They already made a liar out of me, but that's okay. Sometimes you got to fall and get up. The roads are not opening March the 3rd. I don't know when the roads are opening. I do know that they are on track to be finished in September 23. And my story is they'll be through in 15 days. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's see. It is. Okay. Our second project that we are moving towards in the city here is to be able to have a new Irondale Police Headquarters as well as putting our courts in one place. Currently, everybody's in 4 different buildings. We're trying to consolidate everybody into one building. So we have under contract the old Marks Fitzgerald building to be able to do that. We do have a local architect that is working on the project that lives off of Carl Daly Road. Chip, if you want to stand and let everybody know who you are. Yeah. So if things don't turn out the way that they supposed to turn out, you all look up Chip now. Take his picture, get his autograph before he leaves, but I've already pointed you all to the right person. If things don't go right, y'all get on Chip, Chief Wiggins, and Dana that works in the court. They are the 3 people that are spearheading that. Come on out, Dana. Let people see who you are. Dana only been with us for about 5 months now. She's doing a fantastic job. She came from Mountain Brook, and we're glad to have her. But they're the ones who are leading this project. Best thing for me to do as the mayor, I've learned, is to be able to get out of the way. So I'm letting them they're doing all of the stuff, and then when they get to a certain point, they'll bring it to me, and then we'll kind of sit down and we'll move from there. The building is under contract for $1 million. And Chip is doing the due diligence on the building, checking out structure, heating systems, and all of that stuff, and also coming up with the design so we'll know exactly what the cost is going to be as we move into that particular project. The Irondale Civic Center. If you did not come to We Got Game last Friday night, you all missed out on a treat. I did not know people in Irondale love bingo so much. You couldn't even get a seat at the table, folks. I thought somebody was about to come to blows over a prize. and all of these were male and female that are very mature, but they didn't act like it with the bingo game there. But we purchased the Jamora in June for $5 million, 105 acres. We're going to redevelop the entire property. However, while we're waiting to be able to do that, as we have other projects in front of it, we are renting it out. People are using it on a regular basis. I want to give a shout out to Brad Doss because that's his baby. Brad is the one that if you want to do anything up at the Irondale Civic Center, Brad Doss is the person that you need to contact, and he's doing a great job with managing that facility up there. Yes. So about 4 years ago, we started with a renovation project for Ruffner Park. If you've been out there, I don't have to tell you how Ruffner looks right now. It definitely needs some TLC. We started about 4 years ago. Things didn't go quite the way that they were supposed to go with that project. We engaged Goodwin Mills and Capewood. This is just the first rendition of what that ballpark would look like. We have one field that's going to be about 300 feet. We have two other fields that are going to be 225 feet. This field right here could be played on in three different directions. So you could play here, here, and there. You can have home plate in three different places. And one of the other questions people ask me, well, I didn't see any t-ball fields and I didn't see any softball fields. Well, you can do both of those on the fields that are 225 feet there. We met with them about a week ago, Frank, about a week ago. And I told them that when we started this project, we were given a number, $725,000. And they said, well, we can't even do the plans, Mayor, for $725,000. So then we received that it was going to be about $3 million to be able to do it. But as you look at these fields right here, anybody want to take a guess about how much those fields would cost? Or how much those fields are going to cost? A lot. It's good. Anybody want to go a little bit higher than a lot? $1 million? $5 million? Want to go back a little bit higher? Now, these are synthetic fields. All of these are synthetic fields. Yes. I'll just go ahead and finish it for everybody. No, this is for the entire complex. It's a $10 million project. 10. Dog park. We should be going out to bid for that this week. And I don't know if you all follow me on Facebook, but I did ask everybody to give or submit some new names for the dog park. I wasn't thinking about changing the name of the dog park until we were having a meeting with Leanne and Emily, and Emma said, she kind of reminded me of Mahalia Jackson and Martin Luther King with his I Have a Dream speech. She said, Mayor, we're going to get a park a new name. And I said, well, I really hadn't thought about it. So I decided to put a diagram up of how the park would look. And I've also gave people an opportunity to be able to give comments on the name of what they would like to see the dog park look. So we're going to have a contest. And we're going to allow you all to select out of the about five names. We're going to have a contest to allow you all to participate in helping us to rename the dog park. We're trying to name the dog park that reflects the beauty of the area. So think about Ellard Park. It's close to Ruffiner Park. It's close to railroad tracks. We're talking about dogs that has tails. Just trying to give you all a heads up as you're thinking of some names to think about the area and try to come up with a name that would reflect the area of the dog park. And we're trying to do that with everything. We're not just trying to do that with the dog park, but the beauty of having a chance to be able to brand a city, you have a chance to be able to put it on a blank canvas and to be able to name things and have the council to be able to vote on it and to be able to change it. So the dog park is projected to be around about $500,000. It's on 9.6 acres. It's a state-of-the-art dog park. You have a place for small dogs and big dogs. So they'll be divided from each other. You have a lot of shade that is out there. You also have a lot of water fountains and things that are there to be able to accommodate it, but it's a very cool place, and we're looking forward to that. We're finally bringing that to its completion. New fire station. We were fortunate enough to be able to receive 143 acres for $300,000. When we inherited the East Jefferson Fire District, we also got a dilapidated building at the same time and also some old equipment at the same time. Well, we've upgraded the equipment, but now we're getting ready to put a brand new fire station that is out there. Josh is working with architects to come up with some renderings and to be able to put some of the things that they want there. But not only are we building a fire station, we're also building a training station, and we're also going to turn the other 40, the other, I think, what is Josh? We could use about 5 acres, 10 acres. We can use about 10 acres, right? For, what was it? For buildings and stuff like that, we could use about what, 10 acres? We could use about 10 acres, so we're going to take the other 133, turn those into hiking trails. We've already had someone to be able to do a master plan because we had to present that to the owners to let them know that we would do low impact stuff out there so that we wouldn't mess up the environment. Okay. It's located off of Alton, John Rogers and Alton. That's right there.
That's that empty slate across the street. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Appreciate it.
Landmarks, so other people understand.
Yes. It'll be a new training facility that will be used by other fire stations throughout the state, throughout the nation. So we'll be hosting, doing events and training other fire people, but we also have that to be able to train our own people. We're firm believers in God bless the child that has his own. So we try to make sure that everything that we need to do in Irondale, matter of fact, I was having a discussion with someone in Homewood, and I told them, when we have a natural disaster in Irondale, we don't have to reach out to other municipalities and say, hey, can you bring your knuckle boom truck over here to be able to help us? We got our own stuff. So we, that's, as they say, that's how we roll. We got our own stuff. We're not dependent on other people. We're not at the mercy of other people, but we can help other people when they get into the midst of their troubles. That's just the philosophy that we have around here, that when you got your own stuff, you control your own destiny. One of my first attempts to be able to bring a retail entity here in the city. And we thought that we were going to get them here, but because we didn't own the land, we couldn't dictate how we couldn't dictate the deal because we didn't own the land, and we was at the mercy of the person that owned the land. And I said, however long I'm here, I'll never sit at the table again where I'm out leveraged. I said, I said, the next time I go in, we're going to be in a place where we're dictating the deal, but nobody's going to be able to dictate the deal to us. And we've been blessed so far to be in a position that when we go sit at the table, we're the one that's controlling the deal, and the people that are there are not controlling it and telling us what we're supposed to do. He's right there. If he wants to. You want to come out? I can take a water break if you don't mind.
Well, we just never get a chance to really thank you for your vision, for us a new training center with our station. This is wonderful. We have new ambulances. And, I've always wanted to thank you, but you're always in there. And that's scary. So I just wanted everybody, in case they don't know what all you have accomplished. So could you just, it's very much appreciated. Yes, go through it real quick.
Yeah, and I like mayors, and then we have employees that are new, and I definitely couldn't do the things that we do without them, because a lot of times it's taking their ideas, and I said from the very beginning, my job is more of an advocate for the citizens and an advocate for the employees, and my job is to understand what we need and to try to get that, and with the mayor and the council, getting approval to do those things. We're trying to change, the way that we've been looked at in the past. And it has, I hear from people all the time. It's, people want to know what's going on at Irondale. I had one week, somebody asked me what was going on. I had like 7 or 8 people dropping off resumes, just coming, wanting to work here. So, it's, we have been able to hire to fill the new positions for the transport unit. That's been going very well. That was an issue that we saw coming for not having the availability of ambulances. Been able to replace equipment. We have 2 of the fire trucks that we ordered just a little over a year ago. We're actually going next month through the final inspections on those, so we'll have engine 1 and engine 2 be brand new, and our reserve trucks will only be 10 years old, whereas the reserve trucks that we have now are the ones that came from East Jefferson. So there's been a lot going on. We just got a lot of good support from the community, from the city administration, great group of employees, and
What is the estimated arrival time for the new fire station? And I ask that because of the firemen that have sacrificed so much, staying in station number 3.
yeah, as soon as we can. I don't have an expected date on that, but as soon as we can. So hopefully we'll have some more information, on that, in the coming, weeks or months, whatever. But as soon as we can, for sure.
Well, I from the bottom of my heart, thank you to the council, thank you to you, mayor, everybody, because in my opinion, this is one of the most important. Everybody is important. This is life-saving equipment, life-saving training, life-saving, and your vision and your goals it gets an A+.
I appreciate that.
And just because of you asking him to come out here, Donna, and the speech that he's made, now he's going to come into the office and want $500,000 worth of equipment because you just got through. So now I got to be able to deal. I got to deal with that. But one story I will tell about Josh is I was headed to the mayor's meeting in Hoover, and I didn't want to drive, so I called Josh and asked him if he would drive me to the meeting. He took me to the meeting, and then when we got back to City Hall, instead of him bringing me to City Hall, he said, "Hey, Mayor, you want to stop up at the substation before we go down to City Hall?" And I said, "Well, why do we want to do that? I just want to get back to City Hall." He said, "Well, one of the salespeople for the transporter just happened to stop by in Irondale while we were in Hoover, and he wanted to know if you wanted to see the transporter." So we ended up going up there, looking at the transporter. And again, we want to be able to thank the council because we were in a position, there's really a transporter shortage throughout Jefferson County. There are a lot of municipalities, if you get sick, you don't know how you're going to be able to get to the hospital. But thank God for the resources and the council. We were able to spend $245,000 in cash money for a transporter and didn't even blink an eye to be able to do that. Matter of fact, we have a second unit that we're just waiting to see how we're going to put the employees on that one. So we'll be one of the few municipalities that have a couple of transporters. So if you all have fallen and can't get up, don't worry about it in Irondale. We can come pick you up in Irondale. Now, you all may fall in some other municipalities. You may not be that fortunate. But if you fall in the city of Irondale, you're in a good place. That is the new library site. We're progressing pretty quickly with moving towards constructing the new library site. You should see a sign within about a couple of days that's going to say future home of the Irondale Public Library, construction starting this fall. This is on Grants Mill Road next to the dentist office. Mm-hmm. The city purchased that piece of property before the end of the year, 7.9 acres. I think we spent close to $1 million to be able to do that. We've done a lot of due diligence, engineering. Currently, Dale, Tamara are working with Charles Williams to be able to make sure that it has all of the latest and greatest things in it. I had a chance to be able to see the first rendering of it yesterday. It is very impressive. You all are going to be proud of this library. The last time we had a new building in the city of Irondale was 50 years ago. I'm 58 years old. So the last new building we had, I was 8 years old. although I grew up in Birmingham. So we want to be able to change that. We're really looking forward to being able to construct a new library. And the thing is about community. When I ran for office, I ran on community. But how can you really build community if the community has nowhere to meet? So now we're trying to solve that problem by coming up with buildings and places of community that we have something for everybody to be able to fellowship, to enjoy, get to know your neighbors, and just to be able to have a good time, to be able to improve the quality of life for all. And if you haven't taken the survey for the new library, I will ask you if you would go to the QR code. I think it's on the, is it on the calendar? That's okay. So if you all would please go and fill out that survey, we really appreciate it. This is the site for the brand new Publix. It's farther along than you can see in that picture. They actually have a roof on it now. So they're moving along with building the Publix there. It's going to have 12 suites and 2 out parcels. We are working as well as praying, hoping that what I've heard from the citizens is that you want to be able to have some new places to dine. So we're working to try to be able to get some new entities into the city to be able to provide you with that. I know Kim and I are tired every Sunday when we leave church. We got to drive down 280 to go have breakfast. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the Waffle House, but every now and then you want a little variety. You want to do Ruby Sunshine, Big Bad Breakfast, and if they can have those things down 280, we can have those things in Irondale. So we're working to make sure that our money can stay in our community, circulate in our community, to be able to provide more services for our people and also to improve the quality of life. And that is the roundabout. My goal is October the 1st, when they open the roundabout, I'm going to ask Chief Wiggins if he and I can sit in the middle of the roundabout and see how many cars we see, how many wrecks we see the first day. But I have confidence in the citizens of Irondale that you all will know how to navigate through the roundabout, and it will be a piece of cake. When I went to visit Christian in Sweden last year, that's all they have over there. Very few traffic lights, but a lot of roundabouts. So that's one of the pictures of the roundabouts that's going to take place on the road that I will no longer tell you all when it's going to open. This is the Hope property here. Are you all familiar where Moon River is located in the city of Irondale? Well, Moon River is on Highway 78. Irondale is the only city that has 2 access points to the Cahaba River. We have one off of Grants Mill, but this is the new access point. Across the street, the Hope property is across the street from the new access point for Moon River. We had a ribbon cutting up there on May the 5th for that, but the city purchased this property here, 143 acres off of the Cahaba. One of the things that was real cool about it is that Ms. Holt did not want to sell this property to anybody other than the city. She had other people to come and to be able to offer her money to be able to purchase the property, but she says, no, I want to be able to sell that to the city of Irondale. I want to say it's around June or July when we purchased that property there. Very beautiful piece of property. The last time I had a chance to be able to go and visit that property was when Mayor Alexander was in office. But it's very hard to really to get to appreciate a piece of property when you're in a suit and a bow tie. So I got to go back in some regular wear to be able to check that out. But that's the Hope property, 143 acres. No, 105 acres off of Highway 78, sitting on the Cahaba. City spent close to $1 million for that. All right, everybody, take out your cell phone. Well, how many people already have the app on their cell phone? Well, if you don't have the app on your cell phone, take your cell phone out. And if you have it on there, you can still take it out. We're trying to get to 1,000 users. We currently have about, what was that, Lee? 860, 887. So we're 113 short. So I need everybody in here. We good for 5, okay? And so you get your 5, somebody else get their 5. You all go home and get on the phone and say Mayor Stewart wants you to sign up and get the app on there. And when we come in next Monday, I want to be able to see 1,000 users that are part of the app. When people complain and say, well, I don't know what's going on in the city, and you all should have been able to tell us this or that. Well, if you've been complaining about that, if you put this app on your phone, they're sending out, Lee, Emma, department heads, council members can send updates out just like that. So you don't have to wait a day to 2 days to be able to get the information. We're getting you the information as quick as we get the information, but we need you to sign up and make sure that you have the app on your phone. I'm an Android user. Android users, we're getting beat up by Apple users. I need you all to sign up. I think less than 180 Android users have signed up for the app. I need the support of our Android users so we can catch up with these Apple people, because they just think Apple is the bomb. But if you don't have it on your phone, we have the flyer back there, and it's also will probably be in your calendar events as well. On Saturday, we're having the second annual Irondale Youth Entrepreneurs event at Shades Valley High School. We have about 25 young business owners that are signed up for this. This was designed for individuals that are 20 years or under. They have an opportunity to be able to sell their wares. This was the vision of Kimberly Miles Stewart. I ask you all to come out Shades Valley Saturday 1 to 4 to be able to support the young entrepreneurs that will be there. I know last year I purchased this bracelet right here. This bracelet was for individuals that have diabetes. So it has some medicinal healing powers in it. But please come out if you can't on Saturday from 1 to 4 and to be able to support the young people. Bring all of your cash. And they also take Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. And they also take credit cards. So please come out and support them. They don't take checks, but they do take all the other forms of tender. On April the 2nd, we're having it's called Easter Eggs Experience in Beacon Park from 2 to 4. Last year, it was a success. I never forget when I was coming to the park, I said, it'll be 50, maybe 75 folks out here. And when I got to the park was covered with people. It exceeded my expectations. And I know that this year is going to be even bigger because we have a couple of entities that are in the community that are going to partner with us and to be able to participate in that as well. But you'll be hearing more about the Easter egg experience here in the city of Irondale. Now, I know everybody in this room going to sign up for this 5K fun run. Can we take roll before everybody leave? Because I know we got enough people in this room to have about 50 people signed up before others get ready to be able to do that. But we have two transport units. So if you fall out, we already have our fire department to be able to pick you up and get you to the proper hospital. So that's not a problem. 5K is really 3.1 miles. It's going to be in downtown Irondale, so it's flat. No hills. Everything down here is going to be flat. And the proceeds from this event is going to the Exchange Club Family Child Abuse Prevention Center. The month of April is called Painted Blue, or it's the Blue Month, and we wanted to be able to not only do something to be able to get in shape, but we also want to be able to support the Child Abuse Prevention Center. I want to say it costs $20 to be able to sign up for the event, and you'll get a medal, you'll get a T-shirt. So in this event, it doesn't matter how great you are. Everybody gets an award. And we know life is typically not that way where everybody gets something for participating. But it's $20. You get a T-shirt. Have breakfast. And I think we may have a party after it with alcohol. So so y'all go figure that. You go run and then come back and go drink alcohol. Only in Irondale can you have such diversity, Susan. It starts at 8 o'clock. Race begins at 8. Registration at 6:30 a.m. Race begins at 8. Fun run begins at 9. You can walk. You don't have to run if you want to walk. I think there's a 1 mile deal that you can do as well. So you don't have to do the 3K. But I know we got a bunch of overachievers in this room. I'm looking for all of you all to sign up and to participate and be a part of that. And this is just to save the date of the events that we plan on having in the city of Irondale. We're looking forward to the Summer Screen Scene series, take place in the summer. I Love Irondale Day. We're still working on trying to get some great musicians for the Irondale Music Festival. I think everybody enjoyed themselves at the Christmas parade. So we're going to do the Christmas parade, and again, I'm expecting everybody in this room to have a float, so we should have a lot of floats at the next deal there. Yo Amo is on October the 14th. We're having Mayor's Prayer Breakfast on May the 3rd, and we may have a very special guest to be able to be a part of that as well. So those are just some of the events that we're having or planning on having in the city of Irondale through December 1st. All right. Well, that concludes my sharing and presentation about what's going on in the city of Irondale. I hope you are leaving out of the room with more information than you had when you came into the room. I will hold these on a regular basis because I believe that an informed community is a great community. So we will do this on a regular basis. You don't have to wait if you want to be able to get information about what's going on in the city. You can always call City Hall 205-951-1413. That number goes directly to the mayor there. So again, I'm just glad that you all here. Hope you learned something. I'm going to give you an opportunity to be able to ask a few questions, but I did want to finish this part by a little after 7. So.
I do know today's the last day of Black History Month, and somehow I missed the celebration that they had. Would you be so kind as to allow me to say this poem that I've written for Black History Month?
Can I make it through the
Yes.
this, and then we'll see if time will permit. Okay, all right.
Mayor, I know that when you're talking about the parks, for the sake of some of the people on the eastern side out there, we are reviewing, or we've got it included in that planning phases of looking at the options for the heritage property, correct?
Yes, we're still working on the overall master plan for all of the parks in the city of Irondale, and we should be finished with that in 15 days, very soon. We should be finishing up with that very soon. But that includes all of the pieces of properties that we'll purchase here at the city. Okay.
I see that April 29th, hazardous waste collection.
Mm-hmm.
Irondale,
That's through Jefferson County. It will be at Classic Car Motoring. It'll be up there for that. Gretchen?
Even though you talked about recycling, I have driven around this evening and this afternoon
interesting amount of people that have put recycling bins out this afternoon. That I know that they put them out this afternoon. And, I don't know if people understand that it's a different truck and it's the same people that collect. And they can't collect in two different trucks, and they don't put the recycling in with the trash. I don't know what people understand, but I don't know. Do you see that there are a lot of recycling bins come out on Tuesday night?
No. No, I mean, I don't, because I do see where people put it out on a Monday or on the weekend, since they pick up on Monday, but I don't see, and I live in District 3, so I can only speak for District 3. I don't see people putting them out like on Tuesday or Wednesday when we have our regular garbage day.
Right in a neighborhood there. And this afternoon, there were a lot of people that had recycling bins like.
The new ones or the, okay. Well, what we can do, we can send the ordinance inspector by there and he can cite them, and maybe after they've been cited, the cans will start to disappear from the curb and end up in the yard much quicker. You're only supposed to, and I think this is for garbage, and you all, African, correct me or whatever, but you're supposed to put your garbage can out, really, was the night before 6:30, the day of pickup, by 6:30, and then it should be back in the yard by sundown. So we'll just do more. It's all about education. We realized that we're going to continue to educate about recycling. I know I was up here, joking. Well, I wasn't joking, but I was up here acting up with the recycling cans and showing you all about those things there. But we're going to continue to do education on recycling. In our current grant, we have $20,000 set aside for education. So we know that people are not going, it's hard for people to change their behaviors and habits. We're going to be patient with them. But as soon as that, it seems like when we don't pick up stuff and do something, they get the message pretty quickly that they need to do something else to be able to make sure that happens. So anybody got else? Any other questions?
I read at the end of the article about the recycling, if you could purchase a recycled can, and we did, we had it from Walmart, but it had State City Roundup.
No, that's fine. As long as you purchase another can, it's blue, got the little recycling symbol. But the main thing is what? Close the lid. If it's got a lid on it, that's really the main thing. It doesn't have to be the ones that's connected or whatever. We're just trying to, if we can just get everybody to work towards closing the lid, we would be a major accomplishment if we can get that done. And we'll report to you. Frank gets a report every month from the Birmingham Recycling Center. And we will, hopefully, when we report give the next numbers for the contamination rate is much lower. So
And
that's what we're striving for.
not to pay money, but to at least break even, because there's less contamination.
Yes. Well, we don't break even because we don't charge anything. Recycling is absolutely free. Trash pickup is absolutely free. We only charge you for garbage, and that's $27. So you get 3 services. You only pay for 1. Y'all make sure y'all tell people that, because people be talking about they just want us to use their cans because they trying to make more money and all that. No, those cans are absolutely free, and we don't make any money. We pay for you to have the ability to recycle. Councilwoman Cuellar? Okay. I plan on having it only if they'll let me sit down at the bingo table. I did not know people were so crazy about bingo. And then we had our own police officer, Jason Hill, hosting it. So I would say, Councilwoman Cuellar, we will have another event. Like I said, I didn't know bingo was such a big thing in Irondale, but it's a big thing. Susan?
Your wife has so much creativity. Yes, her events are just off the chain. So we want to thank her for that.
That's why we married. God know how to work that thing out. He know how to do it. I have nothing. I have no problem with admitting that she's the creative person, and when you see the creative things, that's where they come from. Every now and then, I get a little, some man. But I've been designed to do this part. So, like I said, I stay in my lane. Stay in my lane. Okay. Well, thank you, Kim. All right. You know what?
I don't see all of the dates that we came out. Is there another calendar or place where all of the dates, events are located?
Emma Lee. Okay. See how quick I pivot when something ain't right? Okay. Anybody got anything else? Well, Miss Phyllis, we didn't, for the Black History thing, the only thing we did was a present award. So we didn't do anything or allow people to be able to do anything, with that. So I'm going to say, I would love for you to be able to do it, but I said that I will finish up at 7:15. We're sitting on 7:15. And I want to keep people coming out, because if you tell people you're going to do something for a certain time and you're going to let them go, I want y'all to believe that when y'all come, I'm going to honor that and to be able to let you go. Now, I'll be here for a few more minutes to be able to talk to anybody individually. But again, I thank you all for coming out and to be able to have an update, to know what's going on in the city. I thank you for your support. We could not do the job that we're doing if it wasn't for your support. We may not hear it, but we feel it, and that allows us to go on every day and to try to make this city the best city that we can be. Therefore, I will close the way that I always close. Not only do I love the city of Irondale, but I love you too. May you all have a fabulous night. Thank you again.